Welcome to a video on sports broadcasting and its transformation thanks to the platformization of new media. It gives us a lot of perspective on how much the world of sports broadcasting has changed. Journalists have changed the way they operate, with entities like governing bodies or different teams searching identity through new personification on social media. With TikTok being as accessible as it is and Instagram being so popular, the big streaming channels of sports now begin to seem a little irrelevant. That is, unless you're watching these sports channels post on their own Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. To quote Lee Ludvigsen and Peter Wagner, YouTube offers a window through which we can understand how sports mediation has not merely evolved, but how characteristic dynamics and features of the distinct platforms allow for unique content strategies. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, we have to define platformization, which according to Nyberg and Pohl, can be understood as the penetration of economic and infrastructural extensions of online platforms into wider digital media environments. What this means is that we are now in a system organized by platforms in which traditional companies need social media for revenue. This also suggests that all the platforms are greatly connected and heavily affect each other. We know this to be true because when we see one trend happen on one app, it will most certainly happen on the other app. This is also backed up by an article from Yue Liu, explaining that new short-form content are profoundly changing the model of the sports industry. This is because it's completely changing the type of content that's made and how it's distributed. It also changes how fans interact with the content, meaning it's a whole new ballgame. It's reached the point that we don't even really pick what we watch. We let an algorithm pick easy-to-consume content for us to scroll on, and if it doesn't capture our attention, it's just as easy to keep scrolling. These platforms do involve a lot of strategy, specifically related to communication theories. These theories tend to follow the theme of persuasion. According to an article by Diller, persuasion is concerned with how messages that are aimed at bringing change in recipients do or do not achieve those aims. This persuasion stems from four ancient ideas. The first is logos. These are going to be posts aimed at people who see themselves as reasonable and want to see facts over opinion. In this sense, accounts will post relentless stats on players that they want to see have objectively done well or bad, like Erling Haaland breaking scoring records or Florian Wirtz not scoring in 10+ games. Next, we have pathos, who use emotion for engagement. And here we often see the involvement of political movements or social justice, whether it's people fighting for equal rights or for a football monopoly to not be allowed to happen. Next is ethos, which is more about trustworthiness and expertise. The thing about ethos is the platforms tend to use them more with pundits that have been hired as ex-professional players of all these games, basketball, NFL, football, you name it. You will see pundits involved in coaching and the media because we trust their opinion. And the last persuasion technique is carrier, which is putting out a message at the perfect time. This is often seen with scandals, whether it's replying to a scandal or reporting on one. It's always at the perfect time to get the most engagement. It's also important to mention the two-step model. This is when news or information often doesn't just stay in the original media channel. This model argues that the media influences our opinion leaders and those who spread it further. So the people with the strongest opinions are being influenced by what the media wants them to say. So how information spreads depends on social networks, interpersonal influence, and selective adoption. An example I'd like to take a look at is Manchester United, specifically their TikTok. The club obviously posts short-form video content like goals, highlights, plays, and celebrations. Now this seems pretty normal just to get engagement, but what we have now that we don't have before is behind the scenes footage, new clips from slight interviews, and even insight on some mundane moments with your favorite players. They won't miss the opportunity to get their promotional content out there. But the important thing is that they know how to use TikTok in order to get the interaction that they want, by giving people a chance, responding to their messages, stitches, and letting them really interact with the club on their social media. That's really all for this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.